Just kidding. These aren't nearly that cool. Unless you're into astrophotography. Then these things are awesome. This is the Antlia V-Series LRGB Pro filter set. This is my first LRGB filter set, so I'm not going to act like an expert about them, but from everything I've heard, these things are amazing for their price. The filters I have here are the 36mm unmounted version. They come in at $396 US, which is nearly $500 less than a top of the line filter like chroma filters. But I still think there's a good chance these can perform like a top of the line filter, even though they're nearly half the price. A good LRGB filter set has most, if not all, of the following features. It excludes ultraviolet and infrared light to avoid star bloating. It should block a good amount of light pollution. Each filter should only allow its own color to come through and not overlap with other filters. It should be durable, and it should get minimal or no star halos. These Antlia filters meet pretty much every requirement on this list. The only thing I'm not sure about these filters is if they get star halos, and I'll be testing that out tonight later in the video. Here's the graph for the filters just in case you wanted to see that. Installing the filters was super easy, and all I had to do before I could test the filters was set up my gear. Tonight for my camera I'll be using the ZWO 2600mm Pro, which is the first time I'll be using the monochrome camera for broadband imaging. For my telescope I'm using the William Optics FLT91, which I've been using for about a year now. And for my mount I'm using my trusty Skywatcher EQ6R Pro. So I'm outside right now just setting up my gear and trying to plan my shot to get the most accurate test for these filters. I think I'll start by shooting some of the brightest stars in the sky to really push the limits of the filters and see if I get any artifacts or star halos. And if everything goes well with that, I'll probably switch over to shooting the Bodes and Cigar Galaxy, which should be right above that tree at around 10 o'clock. And I might switch over to the Hercules cluster, which will be above me at around midnight, and it's in a really good spot for the light pollution. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my gear quick and then wait till it gets dark enough to pull in a line. Hopefully everything goes well tonight. Alright, so it's finally dark enough to pull a line with my ASI Air right here, and it's really hazy tonight. It's a pretty terrible night to do broadband imaging, but I'll give it my best shot and try to do an accurate representation of what you might be able to expect with these filters. So let me get the polar alignment done and we'll point at some bright stars. So I just flew to the bright star Vega, so if there's any halos or artifacts, we're definitely going to see it. This is a 10-minute exposure through the red filter. It's about to come in, so let's take a look at what it looks like. It's just loading, and you can probably see that's just my framing picture, but it's loading. And there it is. And it actually looks really good. I'm not seeing any artifacts or halos besides these spikes, and that's completely normal for a refractor telescope. So everything looks good. I'm not seeing any halos. So I'm gonna take a couple frames through each filter and stack them together tomorrow morning, and we can analyze each one through the software to make sure there's no halos. But this is looking really good, so let me go do that and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow morning. Okay, so it's the next morning now, and I have my 4 pictures. I didn't end up stacking them. This is just one raw file from the camera, so you can see what it looks like. So in the top left here, we have the blue filter, and I'll go ahead and zoom in on the star. So like I said, there's these spikes, but that's definitely something with my telescope. I don't believe that's the filters, so I wouldn't worry about that. If we had like a halo or something around that, that would be the filters, but I don't believe that has anything to do with the filters, so that's good. The only thing I noticed when looking at these is some of my stars, especially around the corners, they have darker patches in the middle, like this for instance. I don't know if you can tell. Some of them aren't evenly illuminated. I'm thinking that's something to do on my end with my field flattener or filters, distance, something like that, but I don't think that's the filters either. But if you know anything about that, let me know down in the comments. So moving to the right, we have the green filter, and I'll zoom in once again. We have the same kind of pattern with the spikes, but like I said, that's the telescope, so it looks pretty good. No halos or anything. And then my stars again, they're a little bit different, but like the top is more illuminated than the bottom. So I don't really know what's going on with that. like I said, let me know in the comments if you have any ideas. Definitely need to fix that. Going down at the bottom left, this is the luminance. So if you zoom in, actually, I believe if you come up here, yeah, it looks like there's a little less spiking on the luminance, maybe just slightly. It's definitely more defined, but I think that just has to do with my telescope. So it looks good, no halos or anything. Yeah, for some reason on the luminance, my stars look really good all around the corners. Maybe my back focus is a little off because they're somewhat egg-shaped, but they look a lot better than that, unevenly illuminated, so don't know what's going on there. And then bottom right is the red filter, so go in. Red filter looks good. Yeah, see here too, my stars, see how the tip's kind of more illuminated than the bottom? I don't know if that's the filter. I have to do more research. I really don't think so. I think that's on my end. But yeah, the bright star, no halos or artifacts, so yeah, everything looks good. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed this.